Ladies and gentlemen, welcome so back to the channel. I hope that you're having a great one out there. Thank you so much for clicking on the video, for clicking here and stopping on by. Let's go and listen to this track from Bryan, Ferry, of course, of Roxy Music, In Your Mind, released 1977, his fourth studio album. Love the album cover. I love it. Listen, it's 77, but it screams a little bit of 80s for me. This track was suggested and sponsored by Joe. Thank you so much for the recommendation. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate that. You gave me a pick of 4 different songs I could have listened to, and so I chose Bryan Ferry out of the 4. What were the other 3? That's between Joe and me. This track had also been suggested by Herb. White Shirt, Loose Tie. Love that. Hold on. Keith Jones and Cosmin, 98,684. So thank you guys so much for the recommendation and the suggestion. Let's go ahead and... Can I say something really quick before I pull this track up? Listen, it doesn't happen very often, but it did happen again the other day. I was going through the comments, and sometimes it takes me like a couple days or so to go through the comments again. But I always go through the comments and go through and reply and such. And I saw a comment from someone that said something along the lines of, stop talking about what you're drinking and play the music. Because sometimes I don't go right into the music. Sometimes I want to talk to you guys a little bit, and hey, I'm drinking some coffee right now. I might talk about it a little bit or certain things. I just think it's funny because I don't watch reaction videos. It's not my thing. But what I like to watch out of the YouTubers I watch and such, I want to get to know you a little bit. I want to have a little bit of a little bit of a parasocial relationship with who I'm watching it with certain people, or I want to get to know them a little bit of background. If I want someone just to play the music, I'll put the radio on, or something like that. And you got the fast forward button too. It's YouTube. Anyways, I genuinely think it's fun. It's not in a mad way. I just think it really is funny. It's you just want someone to press play, say good song, and move on. I hope that you get a little bit more here, and I hope that they're still around. Let's go and listen to the track. See, I look at that 2-minute preamble. Love Me Madly, again. There's that vibrato. Warbling every line on it. I love it too. Don't talk about it. It's not the same. Love me madly once again. Don't make it easy for me. Some like it tough, you see. Loving is easy for me. Oh Lord. Little bass in the background. Love how the guitar rises in that part with those background vocals. It's just very ecstatic. Love how bass took over here.
Uncertain, out of reach, on the other side of time. Barriers broken, thoughts entwined, never words spoken. Love me madly.
This bass.
Who can draw the line? A strand from me to you, a world apart is mine. Love is easy, hard to win. Love letters tearing. Love me madly. And when you find the time, let's share a silk caress somewhere far away. Mirror to mirror, frame on frame, with and without you. Love me madly.
I love those female vocals here. So breathy. I love how their vocals kind of lead that climax into the next measure really nicely. That time it didn't, just the horns that time. Okay. Last measure. I mean, it's good to hear Bryan Ferry. That's why I chose this track, because I wanted to listen to some Bryan Ferry. I love how right at the gate and for the duration of this track, as expected, but man, does he put it on. I love the Ferry vibrato. Listen, sometimes I talk about the David Sylvian vibrato. Oh, man, I love it. But I love the way that Ferry does it too. And I like how he does it on pretty much every single line that he sings. But his voice is like sweet, succulent honey that just goes over anything well. You know, whether he's playing experimental glam with Roxy or something a little smoother here. You know, like it just works for me very well. I have his album, I don't know how to pronounce it, Bet Noir, on my wish list to get to. That's one of the albums I need to get to after we listen to his debut. But I think that this is sensational. I like how the instrumental side of it is so wonderfully built up, and the second half of it really is just purely instrumental, and how those female backing vocals were, of course, backing him up as he was singing while he was involved. And then after that, he's gone. He walks off stage. Maybe he's playing some piano or keys at some point during that instrumental, but it's really the rest of the band that's doing that. And I like how, as the music builds up at the end of each measure, how those kind of hushed, breathy, soulful female vocals come up and just kind of rise it before, of course, seeping into the next measure, of which the bass often led the mark, but sometimes the guitar did as well. You have a stacked lineup of musicians here. Besides Ferry, Phil Manzanera, his fellow Roxy music mate, Chris Spedding, John Wetton, Paul Thompson, Morris Pert, Mel Collins is everywhere. And then I can't help but notice on production, Steve Nye. He's just everywhere. I love Steve Nye. But I really enjoy, like, this is an aside outside of this reaction. But just as, like, I've been diving into, you know, music like this and, you know, a lot of the 70s and 80s music especially, just since the beginning of this channel, it's just been really cool to like not only start, you know, recognize all these fabulous musicians, but to see their names pop up in so many random places. Like, I gotta tell you, John Wetton is the most surprising. Like, what is he, how did he get here? What is he doing here? But I'll take it 100%. I will absolutely take it. Can you imagine Wetton and Ferry singing a track together? Their warm voices just kind of mixing together would be really nice. But really enjoyed the arrangements of everything. This track is played relatively straightforward. It sounds like almost like a dancey rock track, but it has the musician talent to back it up and make it sound so good. I don't know who's playing what, because I should have kept it up. Even says here on the LP sleeve notes includes thanks to these musicians, but it doesn't tell you who's playing on what particular tracks. So the guitar solo and such, I don't know if it's Hubbard, Manzanera, or Spedding, bass on this track, Porter, or Wetton. I couldn't tell you who's playing what on this particular track, but I can tell you they're playing it well. I can tell you they're playing it absolutely fantastic. Like I mentioned at the end of a lot of those measures, how the bass or the guitar would lead the charge in that next measure. I love when the bass does it. It just sounds so warm. It pops out wonderfully and has this nice, sweet sound to it. Or when the guitar comes in, you know, sometimes it plays a little bit more of a rock edge, and sometimes it kind of smooths the tone out a little bit. But always played wonderfully. As we mentioned, you know, you have the female backing vocals, several people there. And then the horn arrangements, as we mentioned, with Mel Collins, but also involving Martin Drover, Chris Mercer, and string arrangements by Ann Odell. So this track really does feel like a feature-length. That's not the word I want to use. That's not the phrase. It feels like maybe a feature-length showstopper. I feel like it kind of hits everything and it kind of gets everything done right. And this track is right in the center of the album, so it is the perfect centerpiece. And it is the longest track on the album as well. And, you know, for a track like this, I can definitely see, and if I was to, you know, use my psychic powers and read the comments before this video is even posted, I would take a stab in the dark and guess that there would be at least a couple comments that say, like, it goes on a little bit too long. I can see that, but I enjoyed what it's doing, and I enjoyed how the musicians were playing off each other and soloing. So I don't feel that way. I think it actually is the perfect amount of time. Like, if they stretch it out too much longer, you know, maybe it goes on a little too long, or if they cut it off a little bit and cut the wings off of these musical doves, you know, let's not do that. I think that ample time is left for the musicians to play around in this really fun kind of, to me, a dancey rock kind of space. And like I said, the album cover, it sounds like Ferry's, like, he's let me pull up the his debut album cover. Hold on. Let me don't worry, I got you. Let's pull up here, where is it? Boys and Girls. Oh, I am so dumb. Why did I think Boys and Girls was his 6th studio album? But that's not what I'm thinking of. Like, when you see Bryan Ferry in, like, you know, Like, what is the music video with Pearl? Is that the one I'm thinking of? Where he's like suited up and looks. Let me see. Just work with me here. Okay. All right, Mother of Pearl. Right? I'm not playing the music. But when you see Bryan Ferry, like, he's like he's got this cool, suave look to him, right? To me, he always has that sleek, kind of cool style to him. Just a cool cat of the night. And I feel like this album cover, if you come back to the album cover, this is like The Hangover. But he's still dancing. He's still toe tapping. And I feel like this track is just kind of like him. Just listen, I'm just still cutting it loose a little bit. I'm still having a great time. But let's turn down the lights a little bit. Are you still cutting it on the street? Do you make savage love when you meet? And I love the way he says zigzag in here. He really puts the vibrato on that. In the zigzag shadows that promise much. Don't talk about it. Show me. Talking about it's easy. Don't talk about it. Love me up. You say you're swiping a debit card, but can you cash it? Is that didn't make sense? Is that lightning exciting you quite as much? Could I feel it? Or would I could feel it? Hold on. Is that lightning exciting you quite as much? Would I could feel it? Would I could touch? Don't talk about it. It's not the same. Love me madly once again. Don't make it easy for me. Some like it tough, you see. Loving is easy for me. A whole lot of love has passed this way. Is it as passionate as it seemed? Was it for real or some kind of dream? Don't talk about it. Listen, let's put your money where your mouth is. And should we meet again, uncertain, out of reach, on the other side of time, barriers broken, thoughts entwined, never words spoken, lovely, madly, again. The again is the important part out of all this, right? The repetition. Again, love me madly. Not one time, not two times, again and again and every subsequent time. And who can draw the line? A strand from me to you. Strand. A world apart, a smile. Loving is easy, hard to end. Love letters tearing. Love me madly again. There's even a little heartbreak, as usual, in here. But you tear those letters up, then you get some tape. And when you find the time, let's share a silk caress. Somewhere for a while, mirror to mirror, frame on frame, frame by frame. Within, without you, love me madly again. There you have it. A little bit of Bryan Ferry in your cup of cereal. If you're eating cereal out of a cup. Joe, thank you so much for the recommendation. Thank you so much for the support as well. I really appreciate that. And thank you for the choices. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you as always for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Thank you for just stopping by. Even if you stop by for 5 seconds, clicked out the video, you're probably not seeing this. But if you are, I do appreciate you. Truly. Have a wonderful guys. Have a wonderful guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day, guys. I'll see you later. Oh, you're still here? Oh, okay. Well, I guess while you're here, the other 3 tracks that Joe had suggested were Jethro Tull, Seal Diver, Mahavishnu Orchestra, Lila's Dance, and then Rush, The Big Money. That's why sometimes you stick around after.